that they are consistent. That's one of the biggest things too, is that people may put things in one area and not put it in another. And you want to have a consistent presence across the board.
Excellent. That was a great tip number 4. Let's go to tip number 5.
Sure. Tip number 5 is that make sure for your LinkedIn profile that you include what your actual responsibilities are. So if you are, an assistant at your dad's office, whatever, anything, working for a friend or working in a more, a job that you got a real job, make sure that you put what those responsibilities are. So many times I will look at even more seasoned professionals, they'll just have their title. They'll have account executive at Herb's Gardening Appliances. I don't know what an account executive at Herb's Gardening Appliances is versus someone else. And I think because young people assume that, oh, I only worked at my dad's office, or I only did that. There are probably skills that you can then highlight and talk about, and then add that in your professional profile. Don't just assume that people know whatever you're putting down is actually what's there, and start tailoring it. If you know you want a certain kind of job, or you want to go to perhaps a certain kind of school, start tailoring the skills, or promoting the skills that you got, no matter what your job is or what role you have.
Excellent. Another great tip. And let's hit number 6.
Number 6 is using, and I sort of alluded to it before, but using social media, whether that's LinkedIn or Instagram or anything else, to find affinity groups. I was talking to my friend's son, and he's a senior in college, and he was saying he's been using Instagram rather than going on some college tours. They live on the East Coast, so he may not be able to make it to the West Coast, but he's been actually finding other people who went to the schools he's interested in, and asking them questions about, what life is like, and trying to understand what things are like there. Or again, if you're looking for, more other connections, whether that's through your high school, through your college, through an alumni association, or even fraternities, use those social channels, even if it's not LinkedIn. Use Instagram. I'd say probably Instagram more than TikTok, but don't be afraid to use those to connect with other people. And that would be tip number 6.
Excellent. Yeah. So networking is a big element of this career readiness activity, and to open up doors for yourself and others as well. So definitely, the more professionals they meet that are like-minded, are in the areas that they're interested in, definitely it's a great plus. And if you don't have a profile, you're not creating these links to and connections to others, and it really allows you to reach out to a lot of folks that you have never even dreamed of accessing. And there's over millions of people on LinkedIn, and if you're not utilizing LinkedIn, that means you're not getting a lot of opportunities and doors opening for you. So be brave, and go after it, because it's easy to send a note through LinkedIn and you get at least 5 if you're not paying for it. You'll get 5 notes per month. So that's another key indicator for networking. Thank you, Kim. All right, the final and 7th tip of the day.
The 7th tip of the day is to be thoughtful and be mindful about your profile, no matter what, whether it's LinkedIn or whether it's, as I said, Instagram, TikTok. It's whatever the world will see. So I think oftentimes those lines can get blurred. And particularly when it comes to LinkedIn, it is important to be vigilant, but know that whoever you are, however you're showing up, that's the way people are going to see you and interpret who you are. And I think, Phil, you made another comment, which is, I think, good, which is the more people that you see, the more sort of privileges you get. And oftentimes, again, using in my own home, my one of my daughters had an internship in Australia, and I she posted about it, and she said, "Mom, a lot of interns don't post," and I'm like, "But she was advised to do that over the summer," and I said, "That's exactly the point. You should be doing, when people are advising you, just because a bunch of people aren't, you'll stand out because you are. And then you have, my friends or whomever's parents, friends reposting or looking and are like, oh, your child is interested in music. I may have a connection for that. Or, oh, just expanding it more. So I know oftentimes young people are not comfortable talking to their parents, friends, or doing that. But I have found, particularly in this kind of environment, people want to connect and really do genuinely want to help each other. And social media, LinkedIn in the professional world, whether you're in high school, college, or beyond, has really become that platform. But as I said, be mindful, because you want to make sure that no matter where you're showing up in a way that, as a parent, your child, you're proud of, and as a child, or you want to make sure too, because people are always looking, that you're showing up in an appropriate forum.
Yes, all great tips. I mean, you've just really provided some valuable items there. Just surrounding themselves with people who want to help them, and if everybody, when you mentioned generally people want to help others, if you find those folks, you're connecting with them, and when you're a student, they've got low expectations of you. And so it's not that hard to communicate with them and work with them, because they'll do most of the chatting or the talking or the texting with you to identify what you need help on, and make those connections. And when it comes to the posting, it is so valuable. Like, you have to market yourself. And so we're not necessarily are we marketing gurus in high school or college. And now we've got to post knowledge and post interesting elements of what we're interested in. And this will help your branding, it will help your marketing, and it will help get to know you of what
Mm-hmm.
you're an expert in or what you really like.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is really valuable for others when they're looking at you. What are you into? What are you
Mm-hmm.
talking about? Or imagine if you're the hiring manager and you got nothing from this person that's never posted in their
Mm-hmm.
life.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're comparing that with another candidate who weekly posts about the topics that he loves or she
Mm-hmm.
loves. All right. Excellent, Kim. Thank you very much. And Laura Lynn, what do you have?
A question for Kim.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, I mean, you deal with a lot of teens and people recruiting. Do teens really understand the gravity of what they have to do, that they need to post professionally? That, like, to me, it seems teens are so self aware because they're glued to the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But in other sides, when I talk to some, I'm like, how do you not know that? What are you seeing?
I would say, with the rise of teens wanting to be influencers, and Laurelyn, I remember hearing you in another podcast talking about that. I think teens are more aware of the fact that they have to have a presence, and there is the difference between everyone
Mhm.
thinks that they're the most interesting person, and they get up in the morning and they flip on a camera and everyone's going to want to see them. We know that that's not true, but I do think teens are understanding a little bit more, because so many of them are interested in monetizing,
Mm,
like, influencer culture,
mhm,
and they're getting understanding the recency and relevance. But at the end of the day, teens do what they want when they want, and sort of, what I even with me, as I said, I was in media and I'm a recruiter. It takes repetition, repetition, repetition. But I also think that if they start seeing their peers doing things and getting advantages because they're out there off, no one, I think, is more powerful to a teen than someone that's their peer or someone that they respect, quite frankly. So that, I do think, will help them or get through and make them understand that.
Outstanding. Great advice. All right, so we're at the bottom of the hour. And so I want to thank you, Kim, and Laura Lynn Mears for this incredible Help Talk opportunity where we're sharing valuable advice and education to parents and to students to help them address the gaps that they may not be aware of. So, Kim, thank you very much for presenting all that helpful information. And thank you, Laura Lynn, for coordinating the Help Talk. And we hope you feel better.
Thank you so much. This was great. Really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week.